Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's spent. And MC Lyte, both of you, thank you.
You just watched one of President Joe Biden's most cringe-worthy gaffes. And not only did he not know how to pronounce LL Cool J, which really isn't that complicated, he went on to call a black man a boy, which he definitely shouldn't have done. Now, the incident occurred at the Congressional Black Conference in Phoenix. So this is the Phoenix Awards over the weekend. Now, the gaffe didn't sit well with many, including Charlemagne. So let's hear what he had to say about it.
A lot of people are upset that Joe Biden referred to LL Cool J as a boy. As you can hear, he corrected himself on the spot. You know why Joe Biden corrected himself? Because he's 137 years old. He fully understands the word boy in the racial context around a white man referring to a black man as boy. See, boy is absolutely a white racist word when used in a certain context. When the word boy is referred when somebody uses the word boy to refer to an adult black man and the speaker is white, that takes on a whole different meaning. Is context and meaning matters. Okay, boy is a white racist word. Joe Biden knows this. That's why he corrected himself. But I'm gonna tell you what I found egregious. The fact that Joe Biden got LL's name wrong to begin with. Can we hear that again, please?
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J.
Okay, stop. LL Cool J. Why did the audience laugh? They should have been correcting him on the spot. Okay, I don't know if that was Joe Biden or the teleprompter or the Delaware education system, but here's the thing.
Another shot at Delaware.
It wasn't. I didn't even know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. But listen, here's the thing. Joe Biden should not need a teleprompter to know there's not two J's in LL Cool J.
Now look, this isn't the first time that President Joe Biden has made some racially insensitive remarks. In fact, remarks that were insensitive in the context of a conversation with Charlemagne himself. Here's the reminder.
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community. I would love to see.
Take a look at my record, man. I extended the voting rights 25 years. I have a record that is second to none. The NAACP has endorsed me every time I've run. Come on, take a look at the record.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Anyway, thanks. I will come back.
Cenk, take it away.
Yeah. He's got issues, he's got massive issues. And so one of the excuses that the establishment uses is, we can't go away from Biden because the black community loves Biden. No, you just made that up. Like, I get it, he won South Carolina because Clyburn and Obama, et cetera. The black community loves Obama, that's definitely true, right? And so when they were saying, okay, go back Biden, yeah, that helped. But does the black community love Biden by himself, in and of itself? No, and I by the way, a lot of people don't listen to anybody in Washington, don't listen to anybody on television, because their income, their salaries are often tied to the Democrats. So they have to say that black people love Joe Biden. They have to say it, okay? Charlemagne doesn't have to say it. Charlemagne's actually popular. People actually listen to him. And he's been frustrated with this for a long time, and he's absolutely right. So, and look at the point Charlemagne made when he was interviewing Biden a while back. That second clip we showed you. He said, I'm not comparing you to Trump. I'm asking you about your record, but Biden then says, no, you're not black if you don't support me. What kind of an insane thing is that to say?
It's super, look, it's super, I find it so wrong when anyone uses that kind of rhetoric to essentially treat any group of people, right? Well, whether they're marginalized or not, as a monolith. It's stupid to think of any group that way. People are individuals who have the right to make individual decisions for themselves. Look, I feel the same way when there's a conservative black person and then liberals go after that individual and say that they're not black. They're not black because they have conservative values. No, they're allowed to have conservative values. They're individuals. No particular group is a monolith. I think it's incredibly ridiculous to think in that way.
And by the way, President Biden, I did look at your record. what was the #1 promise you made back then when you were campaigning specifically to African Americans? Voting rights. And what'd you do with voting rights? Nothing. You proposed it once and the Republicans said no, and you said, yes, sir, right away, sir, we'll do nothing further. Now you ended the filibuster and passed it. You had plenty of votes to pass it, but you didn't end the filibuster for that. But you did put aside the filibuster to make sure that you lifted the debt ceiling. And that was because of your beloved stock market. So it is a fact that Joe Biden likes the stock market more than he likes African American voters. Look, that's his record. You asked me to look at your record, I looked at your record, okay? So now there's other good things in Joe Biden's record not related to African Americans, okay? But on that particular issue, I wouldn't brag if I were you. Okay, so look, to me, is it that big a deal that the billion-year-old politician doesn't know LL Cool J's name? No, it's not that big a deal. But if you're being criticized nonstop while you're running for president, the most important election of our lifetimes, that you keep making gaffes, try a little harder, big guy. And then whatever you do, the #1 problem in all of this is, do not call adult black males boys.
Totally, yeah.
Do not do that. And if you're running for president, and every stupid Democrat in Washington says you're God's gift to humanity and are the only person who could beat Trump, and they say that democracy is on the line, stop making ridiculous gaffes. And that's being generous to you that it's a gaffe. So
I think it is a gaffe.
So do I. I do. I'm being generous, but I genuinely think, no, he wouldn't want to go around calling black men boys, okay? But to claim that he's the best candidate is absurd.
Look,
absurd.
Some in the audience, not everyone, but some people, I think that there's a disconnect because you're mistaking Biden's presidency with the likelihood of winning re-election. Two things can be true. You can both acknowledge some of the good things that Biden has accomplished, which I do on this show, right? We talk about the 15% minimum corporate tax rate, big deal. That's a big deal in my opinion. There have been other successes, including a 1% tax on corporate stock buybacks, which is a disincentive to do corporate stock buybacks. Excellent, love that too. You can acknowledge those things, but you could also, in a very sober way, look at the likelihood of Biden beating Trump, who is facing 4 separate criminal indictments as we speak, but is still in the average of polls neck and neck with Joe Biden. That is an indictment on Joe Biden as a presidential candidate. It is a genuine concern. And when we talk about the gaffes, it's not just about this one gaffe that, you guys are too harsh or too hard on Biden. It's about the multiple gaffes, and it's about the optics that he provides as he's out there campaigning, as he's out there doing speeches. And if you don't know what I mean, as difficult as it is to watch this is, in my mind, what Cenk is thinking about when he's urging the Democratic Party to reconsider propping up Biden for re-election. Let's watch.
For Secretary of Health and Education Service, I nominated Javier Baccaria. Javier Becerra, excuse me.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
Luxury homes and other ill-begotten gains of Putin's kleptocracy. Kleptocracy and the guys who are the kleptocracies.
Mr. President, thank you. At the end of such a momentous event, the word thank you seems kind of inadequate.
And recently, as he was on the world stage in Vietnam, he announced in an incoherent speech, at the very tail end of an incoherent speech, that it was his bedtime. He's ready to go to sleep. Like, these things stack up in the minds of American voters. And when you question why it is that Biden is neck and neck with Donald Trump, you have to, again, in a very sober way, look at the reality of the situation. It just is what it is. I don't know what else to say about it.
And we say neck and neck, but now he's officially losing. He's losing by over a point. And remember, he has to win by 5 points Otherwise, we're going to lose the Electoral College. That's a fact. So now that means in reality, he's down 6 points to a guy with dictatorial tendencies and a moron, right? You can't beat that moron. Anyway, now look, guys, you have to separate out two different things. Okay, he's a little bit older. He trips on the bike. He trips on the stairs. No, I defend him on that. Okay, that doesn't have anything to do with his mental faculties. At least the brother's trying to bike. Okay, and he's trying to run around, etc. No problem. And by the way, I'm super consistent. When Bob Dole fell off a stage when he was running for president, I was like, he fell. So what? That doesn't prove anything. George H.W. Bush vomited in the lap of the Japanese prime minister, if I remember correctly.
What?
Yeah, and everybody freaked out. But I'm like, so the guy got sick. So what? What does that prove about?
But like, did he have to do it on the poor guy's lap?
No, but he got sick. Yeah, so it was.
Buddy, you got to aim somewhere else.
I got you. But the point is, it's not policy. It's not mental faculties. Somebody gets sick. Somebody trips. It's no big deal, right? But you saw that last clip on the stage, guys. Come on, we're whistling past the graveyard here. Everybody can see it and the jury's already in. 72% of Americans, not 27, not 47, not 67, 72% of Americans say that he is not physically healthy enough to make it through a second term. They're not gonna vote for him. They're not gonna vote for him. And so now he comes out calling black men boys and LLJ, Cool J, and now, this is a mess. It's a disaster. And if you're a Democrat and you think Biden's gonna win, you're just as deluded as MAGA. You're living in an alternate reality where Biden is an amazing candidate and he's the only one who could beat Trump, and your party is pathetic and no one else can beat Trump. No, you're MAGA. You're not MAGA in policy, you're MAGA in delusion. Report back to this planet where Joe Biden is not going to win. We all have eyes, we all have ears, and it doesn't matter how often you say it on TV, the jury's already come in with the American people.
If you enjoyed this video, that's because of our members. They make us independent, they make us strong, and they make us honest. Become a member today by hitting the join button below.